Two rivals battled on sand and water, crashing into waves, but only one would survive the chaos of the Gulf that night. The sun blazed over the Gulf of Mexico as Chavo Guerrero and CM Punk stepped onto the beach, their eyes locked like predators. This was no ordinary match, it was the Gulf of Mexico match, where victory could come only by brutal endurance and using the water as a weapon. The sand burned under their feet as tension built. CM Punk raised his fists, shaking, shouting, trying to psych out Chavo, but Chavo smiled, calm and confident, saying he had fought in worse storms. The bell rang and the fight began immediately. Punk rushed forward, throwing punches, but Chavo sidestepped, catching him with a spinning kick that sent him stumbling into the sand. Punk recovered quickly, launching a high kick that Chavo blocked, then countered with a hard elbow. The crowd on the shore screamed with every strike as sand sprayed like battle dust. Punk grabbed Chavo by the hair and slammed him into a nearby cooler, the ice rattling inside. Chavo kicked Punk off, both men panting, bleeding slightly from scratches and scrapes in the sand. They ran toward the shallow water, waves lapping at their ankles. Chavo caught Punk in a headlock, dragging him deeper. Punk countered with a knee, breaking free, sending Chavo stumbling into the surf. Water splashed everywhere, chilling their bodies but fueling the fire in their eyes. Punk grabbed a wet beach chair and swung it at Chavo, who ducked, letting the chair crash into the sand. Chavo used the momentum, hitting Punk with a forearm that sent him into the waves. Punk gasped, fighting the water, but came back quickly, grabbing Chavo and throwing him onto the shore. The fight continued like this, back and forth, sand and water mixing with blood and sweat. Punk ran toward a rocky area near the pier, but Chavo intercepted him, landing a jumping kick that sent Punk into shallow waves. Punk rolled, came up, and grabbed Chavo by the wrist, twisting him into a submission hold. Chavo screamed, fighting the pain, clawing at the sand for leverage. Punk tried to drag him further into the water, but Chavo countered, landing a knee to the chest and pushing Punk into the surf. Chavo took control briefly, lifting Punk and smashing him onto wet sand. Punk rolled away, grabbing a lifeguard chair nearby, swinging it like a weapon. Chavo blocked, then shoved Punk into the water, sending waves crashing over both men. They fought in the waves, struggling, sliding over wet rocks, water soaking everything, screaming and landing blows with no mercy. Punk grabbed Chavo, slamming him against a wooden pier post, splinters flying, then pushed him into deeper water. Chavo struggled, came back, hitting Punk with elbows and a dropkick that sent him down. They were exhausted but neither would yield. Punk ran along the beach, pulling Chavo up and into a running forearm smash. Chavo countered with a spinning kick, sending Punk stumbling backward into the waves. The water rose around them, pulling at their legs, but the fight didn't stop. Chavo grabbed Punk in a fireman's carry, trying to throw him into the Gulf itself, but Punk countered, landing on his feet and hitting Chavo with a stiff forearm. Chavo went down, rolling in the wet sand, water dripping from his hair. Finally, Punk saw an opening. Chavo attempted a low kick, but Punk dodged, grabbed him by the wrist, and dragged him toward the pier's edge. Punk lifted Chavo, spinning him, then slammed him hard into the shallow water. Both men gasped, chest heaving, sand and water clinging to them. Punk lifted Chavo again, hitting a high knee that sent him down for the final time. Punk climbed on top, pinning him in the wet sand as the referee counted 1, 2, 3. The crowd erupted in cheers and screams. Punk had survived the Gulf and claimed victory, soaked, exhausted, and triumphant. Chavo lay in the wet sand, breathing heavily, blood mixing with seawater, knowing he had given everything. Punk raised his arms, soaking wet, chest heaving, victorious but battered. Both men would remember this night forever, a brutal battle where water and sand became allies and enemies, and only one man could emerge standing from the Gulf of Mexico. The sun set over the horizon, waves crashing softly, as Punk and Chavo slowly got to their feet. Respectful nods were exchanged between them, knowing the chaos of the Gulf had forged a battle for the ages. Fans would never forget the night CM Punk and Chavo Guerrero turned a beach into a battlefield and survived the madness of the Gulf.